The Pagani Huayra Imola Roadster AED 22 is not just another hypercar. It is a visceral expression of extreme engineering, artful Italian craftsmanship, and sheer mechanical audacity, taking everything Pagani has ever stood for and distilling it into one of the most limited, powerful, and flamboyant roadsters ever conceived. And when you look at it, every curve, vent, line, and surface screams function blended with form in a way only Horacio Pagani can achieve. Starting with the design that is sculpted by aerodynamics rather than just aesthetic desires. Because the Huayra Imola Roadster is essentially the topless twin of the Huayra Imola coupe, but in typical Pagani fashion. It is not simply a cut-true variant, but a re-engineered masterpiece designed to deliver unmatched performance while allowing the driver to experience the drama of open-air motoring at speeds that boggle the mind. And to understand what makes this car so special, you have to start with the beating heart under its sculpted hood, which is a Mercedes-AMG sourced 6.0-liter twin-turbocharged V12. Hand-built by AMG exclusively for Pagani, producing an insane 827 horsepower and 1,100 newton-meters of torque. Numbers that would make even the most elite hypercars tremble. And these figures are not just for show, because the car weighs only about 1 to 4.6 kilograms, thanks to Pagani's obsession with weight-saving technologies like carbo-titanium and carbo-triax, composite materials which combine carbon fiber with titanium to create a structure that is both lighter and stronger than anything used by mainstream automakers, resulting in a power-to-weight ratio that makes the Huayra Imola Roadster a track-honed weapon for the road. And the aerodynamics deserve a story of their own, because Pagani has gone far beyond just sculpting pretty lines. Instead, engineering active aero components like four independently operating flaps that adjust in milliseconds to create the right balance of downforce and drag depending on speed, steering input, and braking. And this makes the car not only incredibly stable at high speed, but also agile in corners, where it grips the tarmac with a confidence that feels more like a layman's prototype than a road car. While the roofless design adds a new layer of sensation, because every surge of boost from the turbos, every crack of the exhaust, every whoosh of air rushing past is amplified, immersing the driver in an orchestra of mechanical fury. And yet this fury is clothed in exquisite artistry with details that show Pagani its commitment to creating vehicles that are as much sculpture as they are machines, because inside you are greeted by a cockpit that feels like it belongs in a futuristic concept more than a production vehicle, with exposed gear linkages machined from a single block of aluminum, quilted leather, polished titanium, and carbon fiber panels that shimmer under the sunlight, all put together by hand with obsessive attention to detail. And while performance is the star, Pagani never forgets the drama of the experience, which is why every button switch engage feels like a piece of jewelry, reminding you that this is not just about going fast, but about celebrating the very act of driving. And speaking of going fast, the Huayra Imola Roadster accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just about 2.8 seconds, and can keep pushing all the way past 350 kilometers per hour. But what really sets it apart is the way it handles the transition between violent acceleration and surgical precision, because the suspension is equipped with active damping that can adjust itself in real time, lowering the car under braking to improve stability and raising slightly when needed to handle road imperfections, creating an uncanny balance between track-level sharpness and road-going usability. And that's not to say this car is practical by any means. This is a machine built for those who want the rarest of the rare. Because only a handful of Huayra Imola Roadsters will ever exist, each costing around 22 million United Arab Emirates dirhams, a price tag that pushes it into the stratosphere of exclusivity, making it not just a car, but an investment, a rolling piece of art that will appreciate over time because of its scarcity, engineering brilliance, and the cult following that surrounds every Pagani creation. What makes it even more special is the story behind its creation, because the Imola name comes from the famous Italian racing circuit where much of the development testing took place, ensuring that every nut and bolt is proven under extreme track conditions. And that DNA carries into the Roadster, meaning this is a car that feels alive in your hands, a car that demands respect but rewards with an experience no other manufacturer can replicate. And unlike hypercars that rely purely on numbers and electronics, Pagani injects a soul into its machines, blending old-world artistry with cutting-edge science, which is why even in a world of Rimacs, Bugattis, and Koenigseggs, the Huayra Imola Roadster stands out as something different, something emotional, something crafted rather than manufactured. And when you sit behind the wheel, you don't just feel like a driver, but like a conductor, leading an orchestra of explosions, air, and mechanical poetry. And then there's the noise. A thunderous roar mixed with a sharp metallic hiss of the turbos. An addictive soundtrack that makes every acceleration feel like a launch into another dimension. And the gearbox, a 7-speed automated manual unit designed for rawness rather than seamless luxury, slams through gears with aggression, reminding you that this is not a GT car but a racing-inspired roadster with manners sharp enough to cut steel. And as much as this car is about speed, it is equally about slowing down. Because the braking system is sourced from Brembo with carbon ceramic discs that bring the car to a halt with eye-popping force, supported by aerodynamic drag from the flaps that pop up like air brakes, ensuring confidence. Even when you are hurtling at speeds that would get most cars airborne, and what seals the legend of the Huayra Imola Roadster is its identity. Because this is not a mass-produced car built to chase sales numbers. This is a tailor-made, bespoke masterpiece, where each owner can customize down to the smallest detail from unique paintwork. Infused with metal flakes to bespoke leather stitching and custom engravings, making every example a one-of-one in its own right. And this deep personalization, combined with its staggering performance and artistic soul, ensures that it will forever remain in a class of its own. A machine that blends the timeless spirit of driving passion with futuristic technology, and in the end, the Pagani Huayra Imola Roadster AED 22 is not just the ultimate open-air hypercar, but a rolling testament to what happens when engineering excellence meets boundless imagination. An irreplaceable jewel in the automotive world that defies categorization, because it is not merely a car, not merely an artwork, not merely a statement of wealth, but a combination of all these things woven together with Pagani's philosophy that every detail matters, and for those lucky enough to own it, every drive will feel like a once-in-a-lifetime event. Every rev a reminder that you are piloting something humanity may never build again in such a raw, passionate analog-to-digital balance, and in a world moving rapidly toward electrification and digital dominance. The Huayra Imola Roadster remains a defiant celebration of fuel, fire, metal, and emotion, a true monument to the art of driving.